I've been drawing shirts since I'm 11, and I always had the idea of having a brand. The idea when I was a kid was overwhelming, but continued doing over the years. Went to college for business and started working in the fashion world. Worked for some premium brands for over a decade, quit my job and started buying sewing machines. When we started making shirts, we were trying to understand who we were as a brand. My family comes from East Texas. I grew up with a pair of boots and a Western shirt in my closet. I think that Richter Goods is the result of a journey of decades, discovering the roots of who I am, of who the brand is.
At Richter Goods, we really believe in doing one thing well. So we're a category killer. We only make shirts, and then specifically we only make Western shirts. It's part of our heritage. Mario's family is from East Texas. Mine has deep roots in San Antonio, and so our point of view is really Western shirting. Making it in the Alamo City to us is a super authentic thing to do. So I started working with Richter Goods about 5 years ago, and Mario and I met because I do chain stitching embroidery, which is kind of the old school way of doing embroidery, and we started making garments together for musicians and different businesses. And chain stitch embroidery and Western shirts is kind of like peanut butter and jelly. Like, they go together really well, and then we work together really well, and I started working with the brand also, and then we also got married. I used to do embroidery by hand and really liked that. And then when I discovered that you couldn't do that fast enough to make a business out of it, I bought my first machine around 6 years ago. It was missing all of the essential parts, and we were like, it'll probably work anyway. We soon discovered that was not true. So it was kind of a 6-month process of learning the machinery and restoring it by hand, and then just from there learning how to work the machine. It's all by hand, so the process of doing the monograms and all of that to actually get good at it is a pretty long road.
I think that the Western shirt should be able to transition into a contemporary piece in the way you wear it, and that we try to have our point of view reflected and pass the torch for the next generation of Western. The design process, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of traveling, it's a lot of shaking hands, meeting people, a lot of conversations about fabric. Everything starts with a drawing, with an idea, with a color, and with a trend. Sometimes we have to connect with a story, and that takes us to connect with mills in really small regions in Japan or Portugal. We work with some Italian fabric. I mean, we start obviously with touching a swatch, getting sample yardage, obviously creating a sample that we don't know we can sell, testing it. We have to add a wash, test the trims, putting it on a body, and really understanding how the garment is going to evolve. It's a whole process. Sometimes we'd sit on an idea for 6 months.
Creating the map for the materials that we use has been years in the making of really pounding the pavement in different cities, Los Angeles, New York, and meeting those people and making those connections to bring fabrics from Japan and Portugal.
From country to country, the way they present their craft is very different and very complex.
I think we know we have the right fabric when it makes you feel something. So we know what our consumers like, we know what we like, and we trust our taste. With the particular project we just did, we worked with a heritage mill in Japan they've never shipped the fabric outside of Japan before. So then, bringing that fabric over here was quite the process of figuring that out.
Sometimes we get inspired by a fabric and we can create a whole capsule around a fabric or a color. It's very hard to show how nice the fabrics are. And we always get that feedback when people get our shirts to say, this fabric is really special, or this is a very nice shirt. But sometimes e-commerce doesn't reflect that. The shirt has to be beautiful, but it still has to be competitive with premium brands around the world. And for us, it's very important to have the most special fabrics, have a competitive price point, and at the same time, they think about the consumer and the archetype that is going to wear our shirts feels empowered, feels special. Well, it's very hard to build a tradition of sewing and how to make a garment. It's really hard to do it every day. It's really hard to have the energy to consistently produce at the capacity that we need to produce. We would love to see our shirts sold new 100 years from now. So with that said, we are a vertically integrated manufacturing company. We build our company thinking that we want to manufacture, design, trims, do everything in-house. So we have control over operation, and that has allowed us to master what we do, and we truly believe that our vision for the future is on the right track.
The reason we built it to be a vertically integrated company and we're building the manufacturing ourselves is we want a strong foundation to pass on to the next generation of makers and people that want to keep things made domestically.
Well, I think that it's important for us to create a special shirt, and it sounds simple, but that special shirt that you can build memories, that special shirt that we like to see our shirts as the sidekick of the story. We would like the people that support us, or archetype, to be the hero of the story, and our shirts are the sidekick. That's why we never put a logo on a brand, on our shirts. We don't like to put logos on anything we do because it's not our story. At the end of the day, it's the story of our heroes. Our heroes are the people that get our shirts.